Okay, friends, so we will start with the first chapter called the quality control. So before we understand this chapter about the quality control, like what is quality control, why it is required, whatever. Okay, so today morning we were discussing about the strategic management concepts. Let us just work something more upon it, and then we'll come back to this. Okay, so before you need to have some sort of perspective. So we discussed today's session that your goal is very clear now. Goal is to clear the chartered accountancy exam, or your objective, whatever, because goals and objectives have been changed interchangeably, they speak. Now, what is the problem now to become a chartered accountant? See, there is one very beautiful element in our life called risk. Fantastic. Somebody told if there is no risk, there is no fun or there is no beauty to the life. Very true. Okay. Risk makes that life very interesting actually. No risk, then what is the life? Boring. Now, when we talk about any risk concept, okay, later in our chapter number 4 also we are going to elaborate. In audit also in your intermediate you have learned. See, any risk has got two elements. One, it is called overall risk, and another assertion, because I will talk in the audit language. If you go to AFM, you call it systemic risk, and this is unsystematic risk. So in everywhere, in every discipline, we have got the same concept. One thing we call overall, see, or systemic. Like you're investing in the stock market, you have got that overall risk of like a Iran USA war. So when you have got an overall risk, what you can do? Actually, you can do nothing other than pray God. Now, what is that you can really control? This is, I can say, 50% external environment. But what is that you can really control? You can actually work upon where your skills, where your talent, where your efforts, everything comes is when we talk about the unsystematic risk or the assertion level risk. Here, we will not pray God, we will work, we will strategize. Okay. Now, later from the financial statement point of view, we will discuss this concept again, overall risk and assertion level risk. Now, if you want to become a chartered accountant, again, see, you have got two types of risk here. Overall risk is there, assertion level risk is there. What is the overall risk? Like, for example, last attempt, okay, India-Pakistan war happened. Something can happen, Corona can come. One attempt only got postponed. Okay, first time you and I realized getting attempt itself is a luck factor actually. And then, see, stomach ache can happen, strike can be there, earthquake. See, these are all the overall risk which could have stopped you from writing the exam or something going wrong. What we can do? Can we anticipate it? Nothing. That's why best thing is, since this is beyond our control, let us be very careful. Let us be very, what is that called, humble. Let us pray God that nothing like this happens. Now, what is that risk which can go threaten that thing which you can control is the risk at the assertion level. What is an assertion? For time being, okay, before we talk about chapter number 4, let us consider assertion means an item, like item of the financial statement. Actually, it's not item of the financial statement, it's the characteristics of the item. Now, what is an item for you? You have got 6 items for AFM, audit, like this. Okay. Like I can say something like very similar items of the financial statement, like you have got cash, bank balance, debtors, okay, liability, okay, you have something like this. You have got equity, share capital, okay, you have got long-term debt. I can consider items of the financial statements are like items for you because these are all the things you can actually control. These are all the items on which you are expressing opinion. Now let us take only this particular thing. Now, when we talk about an item, say debtor is a account balance has got 4 assertions. Like first question, when you talk about the concept of risk, what can go wrong with audit? What could have threatened your objective? See, what I find, there are 4 risks for audit or any subject for that matter. Any of these 6 subjects, you have got this 4 risks. One of the risks is your memory. You may not remember. Like Karna, fantastic, excellent, perfect in every aspect. Right time, he forgot. Now what can be done? Risk is risk. And what happened? He got killed. Second is your application. See, you remember, but you are confused. Are they asking from SA 220 or are they asking from the internal audit chapter? You are not able to figure out, like, should I write this particular part of thing or this should I write this? Like what happened to Bhishma? Bhishma could not figure out, okay, who is Shikandi? Should I fire him or should I not fire? What happened to Bhishma? Since he could not decide. See, please, he got confused. He also got killed. Then comes articulation. Articulation means, okay, you remember exactly. You know exactly, okay, what it is, what to write. You remember also. You don't know how to write. Pen is not moving. You are not able to theorize it. You are not, that language you are not able to write. This can be another. Okay. And the last element here is time. Now, for me, the time in audit is a low risk, but in FR, this is a high risk. Okay, DDI, I'm not sure. Okay, like this, that type of analysis happens. So now, our objective here is to address these three issues. First thing, we have to address these three issues. Okay, we have to address our memory, address the application, address articulation. Like, how do we address the memory? See, you can remember when something is small and simple. You can easily remember it. Because you see one picture, you just remember it. Okay, so what we will plan to do, I told you, we will have to do something called mind map. So that mind map is going to help you to remember it. And the entire chapter, you will bring it in 1 or 2 pages. That's it. And you have to practice it. Now for an application, the only way you have to go through different Q&As, because you should know how one concept will be asked in different ways. So you have to just get exposed yourself to the different types of Q&As plus MCQs. And that will make you very strong. You understand, okay, what is the expectation? How the same concept they can ask you in this way also, this way also. Like for example, internal audit and SA 220, they can mix. They can say, if you are getting assignment as an internal auditor, is SQC applicable? See, they are mixing too. Okay. Third, articulation. See, this is very important, friends. This is where I found, because I am into this field from past 8 years. I have been observing, I have been watching, I am into teaching. I found, like, how do you improve your articulation? See, the best thing, the best way to improve your articulation is to read and write. That's it. So what do? We will have one homework. Okay, every day we will write one thing till our class is finished. Okay, 1 page we have to write. Now question comes, okay, time management we will forget it, because I told for time is never a problem for audit. You have got ample time. Okay, so we need not talk about the time management. Okay, now we have to focus here. One of the biggest problem, okay, is about the read and write. Writing is fine. I'll give you some exercises you have to write. Maybe initially I will also write 1 or 2 questions with you. Now question comes, what do we read? See, my gut feeling, friends, my conviction, you have to read the study material. I will tell you why you have to read the study material. See, I will put my theory, my observation, my conviction. Now, if you are not convinced, if you say you have got a different understanding, I wish you, please challenge me. Please tell me, please enlighten me. I want to know your perspective. So Buddha only has told, don't accept anything, whatever people tell. Okay, even though I tell you don't accept it, you think deeply about it. Okay, see, I find there are 3 very important reasons you have to read the study material. Point number 1. See, first thing is the content of the study material. From now onwards, whatever I am going to show you, first very important question comes, source. From where it came? Is that one person wrote it? No. Did the board of studies, one of the faculty wrote it? No. Please understand, all the content have come from the professional documents. Like your all standards have come from the pronouncement, where you see the language of a pronouncement. See, in the old syllabus, there was one book called pronouncement. In the new syllabus, very good, they removed it. They have given only study material for you. Thank God. Previously, they had to, along with the study material, there was pronouncement also. Now, this pronouncement, see, this is, what is this pronouncement? It's the same pronouncement which a practicing chartered accountant is reading. Now, if you talk about the bank audit chapter, the contents are coming from the guidance notes on bank audit. If you talk about the professional ethics, the contents are coming from the code of ethics books written in 1963. From there, it's getting amended all time. If you talk about your public sector undertaking, it is coming from the CAG, because tomorrow you may become a government auditor. If you talk about internal audit chapter, it is coming from the standards on internal audit. You see the languages, no? So they are coming from the different pronouncement. And tomorrow, once you are becoming professional, see the moment, see what you are reading is a gist, is a small component of a bigger thing. They are not change the language. It's the same language. So that tomorrow, once you open bank audit is of the, actually bank audit itself can be one subject. Guidance note on bank audit is so bulky. But tomorrow, the moment you open, you feel the connectedness. Now you may tell me, sir, I don't want to become practicing CA. My objective is different. I want to become this. Okay. I'll give one simple analogy. Tomorrow you join army. Okay. You join army. You say that why you joined army? Because you always wished to go with the gun and fight the enemies and all. This is what you wished for. But every day 5 o'clock in the morning they wake you up and you have to run for 10 kilometers. You cannot say, no, I don't want that. I want only fighting there. See, discipline is a part of the bundle. It's a package. Now what it's going to do? See, when you read something like these documents, it gives you a deeper comprehension. It will improve your critical thinking capability. Please understand. Please trust me and trust your brain. That's it. You please see, I am going to prove it also in some day. Okay. So now, how it is going to help you? Chalo, you don't want to become an auditor. Tomorrow, see, I was in commercial department. I had to read SLA agreements, quotations running in pages. I was in shared service department. I had to read the contract documents for making the payment. And see, they are very bulky documents running in para after para. Now, who is going to give the summary there in our real life? So that's why we have to have a practice of going through the lengthy content. Okay, that's very important. Second, why it is important? You have to read the study material. That's why I told you first you read the study material and come, because you get used to it. That language is very important. And see, it doesn't require after within 2-3 chapters, no, you become used to. And second reason why I'm telling, see, when I wrote the exam in May 2007, you please check online if you can get the question paper. You see, hardly 4 pages, because our questions were summary questions. Only one question: what are the advantages of obtaining management representation? Say, for example, what are the procedures you need to be followed? That's the summary. But today, forget CA final. You go to this what is it called? Foundation. You check this attempt's law paper. Such a lengthy stories they have given. See, what I say is expecting from you. From the very lengthy para, they expect you to figure out the issue. You have to figure out the issue, students. And this is what we are going to practice also in our classroom now. When we are going to read a big para, you see such a lengthy case studies, okay, case-based scenario. So when you read such a big thing, you have to, actually your brain should summarize. But if you feed yourself with the summarized data only, then your brain will look for a summarized information. In the examination, there is no summarized information. They will give you some lengthy story, out of which you have to figure out a summary. So that's the reason I tell you, make a practice of reading through the study material. And third, see, in 2019, I started teaching audit. Right from the beginning, I was teaching through PPT, some summary notes, some line, single line. And last year, for the first time, I taught through the study material, students. First time. You know, at the end of the course, like when I started to teach myself, forget, I will feel, no, why others should think, like, I don't know what others are feeling, but what I feel, I'll tell you. I'm so happy, so confident, because I could go through the entire study material and explain it. See, I can give one simple analogy, students. Another thing. In audit also, we have got a concept. When we perform an audit, the level of assurance we obtain is high level of reasonable assurance. But if you go through any summary, it is like more like a review or summary document. The level of assurance what you obtain is a limited assurance. Please understand. So all the years of my teaching, I myself had a very limited assurance. The first time when I started to teach through study material, I myself as a faculty, I got that assurance. And you see the confidence what you are going to get, just you finish once, you finish twice, the level of confidence will be very high, students. And you have to trust your brain. That's very important. Okay, brain will try to fool you. They will tell, no, it's just this thing and all. I will tell you some tricks and all. Okay, you see something, I'll show you how the study material has been designed by ICA intentionally. Okay, but it doesn't matter because your brain can get adapted to any situation, whether it is given in the form of a para, whether it is given in the form of pointers, your brain can grasp it. So that's what I wanted to tell you. So let us keep ourselves, and how to read the study material, again simple, read it like a newspaper. That's it. Okay, chalo, we'll start with the quality control chapter. Okay, and when I'm teaching this, I hope students, study material is there in front of you. You're also going by like that. Okay, but whatever paras, and wherever I tell you, mark this important. Okay, you have to mark it important. And in case you find some inconsistencies, if you find I have missed some elements and all, yes, it becomes your responsibility to tell me, and that we also discussed in the morning. You are not simply an information receiver. Okay, you are an analyzer, and you are trying to build one model in your brain. Okay, now what is this quality control? What is quality? Why quality control is required? Okay, so first let us, and I hope, see, I told you, you need to have one rough book. Whatever I am telling, whatever I am scribbling, you also scribble. Later we will have a mind map. This is a proper book, okay? This is required for your memorization. Now, first we will start with the first chapter called quality control. Why quality has to be controlled? Because see, if the very element of anything is the trust. You see, you go to one ice cream parlor, you actually trust that. Why? Because always there is something called a consistency. There's something called a consistency. When somebody is very consistent, okay, that all of us know that. What is consistency? Is the discipline. Somebody becomes trustworthy because they actually show up. They consistently do, like Virat Kohli, best example I can give you. Why you trust Virat Kohli? Virat Kohli comes to the pitch, you say you got a confidence that India is going to win. Why? Because he brings that consistency on the table. Now quality is more like a consistency. You need to have that consistency in the work performed so that people trust your work. Followed, no? Because if people don't trust your work, see, then they are not going to give the work to you. And if they don't give the work to you, then how do you earn money then? So before, see, problems so many people have got. But when they have got a problem, why they should come to you? There are so many competitors to you, right? Are you only one person in this world? Are you only one practicing CA? No, there are so many people. So why you should be doing it? Because you should develop on trust. And trust is given when there is a quality control. Okay, again, I can give one more analogy. Have you eaten gobi manchuri? Yes. So when you order a gobi manchuri to one stall, the stall is there. You say gobi manchuri. You see, have you observed? Will you put gobi? He is doing something with the cabbage, and he is calling it as a gobi manchuri. You go to China. You order one gobi manchuri. They will bring something called a gobi manchuri, and they might have put fish also in there. And you go to another place, gobi manchuri called with a different sauce only. So, the moment inconsistency comes, tomorrow you cannot order with confidence, give me one gobi manchuri. Because there is no consistency. It is differing. It is differing from place to place, person to person. Okay. Have you ever tasted in Domino's veg extravaganza of Beautiful Love? Or whatever, the veg extravaganza, farmhouse. Now you go to any shop across India or across world. Across world, I have not gone there. But you go to any shop across India, order veg extravaganza. So you can order with the confidence, students, because it's the same taste, same content, same quality. See, because of this trust, they are earning cash. Because you, in an unknown place, you can go with the confidence inside a Domino's pizza shop, and you can order because you know that taste. That taste is not going to change. That's not going to be different. That's why it's very important. We need to have quality control standards. So, what is that you are going to gain? Okay, so they have told here, and very important, students. Before, see, every chapter is made up of concepts. Every chapter is made up of concepts. So we have to break the concepts into sub-concepts, and that concepts into sub-concepts. This is called mind map. That concepts into sub-concepts. So your mind should have that map in your, that model in your brain, so that when any information comes in the examination, it will go through this model, figure out, okay, this is the answer I need to write. This is what they are asking. So now if I have to talk about the quality control, how many, I hope you are writing, huh? Everybody, whatever I'm writing, you're writing, mind map we will do, that is different. Okay, but whatever scribbling, whatever I'm speaking, whatever comes to your mind, you have to write. See, there's a fantastic coordination between hand and mind. Make your hands dirty. By watching YouTube videos, you cannot learn cooking. Cooking, your hand has to become dirty. You have to pick up the pen and write. This is also I learned over a period of teaching. Okay, now what is the concepts? First thing, we will make high level conception. So if this is your brain, okay, make the brain into box. First thing, there are 6 boxes, 6 concepts. What is that? FAR, FM, okay, audit. This is your audit box. Now in audit box, you have to make 19 boxes. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In chapter 1, you have to make 2 boxes. SQC1, SA220. In SQC1, you have to make some 6 or 7 small boxes. Like this, no? You need to have one information shelf in your brain. Like you see in the kitchen, you'll never get confused because everything has got its place. You know where salt has been kept, where sugar is kept. Everything has got a place. When any new packet you open, you exactly know where, in which this dibba to dump it. So I want that map in your brain where you have these boxes, sub boxes. Okay, what are those boxes? Concepts. Let us be thorough with the concept. Let us understand in left, right, front, top, bottom, whichever side they ask you the concept, you should be very clear. Okay, and because those concepts are related to cash. Okay, what are the 2 concepts we have got? Primarily in this chapter, we have got SQC1 and SA220. There's one more small concept is there, your regulatory mechanism and all. We'll see that later. So, take out your study material, let us go through. Okay, so they have said after studying this chapter, you should gain the importance of quality. Okay, what is quality control system? SQC1, SA220. Apply into the practical situations. Understand the importance of ethics. SQC differentiate. Okay, understand and build mechanisms. So that's why the primarily 2 concepts are there: SQC1 and SA220. So they gave one initially once somebody's story. Okay, it is CA Jagriti. Now, CA Jagriti was working in a firm of chartered accountants. Yeah, because entire syllabus has been designed in that form only, in the form of your practicing CA perspective. Now, yeah, one more students before we proceed, I just like to show you one more thing. Okay, I hope you are able to see now. Okay, so I hope you are able to see the screen now, where I have given the chapters breakup. Okay, so now what is that we are going to do? See, as of now, we are yet to start the chapters. So how our weightage is given? See, 50% of the marks are given for the standards. IC has given this in the face of the website only. They have told the skill wise weightage, and skill wise I have already shared with you that memory question, comprehension and all. And second thing is your chapter wise weightage. The 50% of the question weightage will go for the 50 to 55% for the chapter. So what I have done based on my experience, I have given like chapter 1 3% weightage. It can be different. Chapter 2 10%, chapter 3 22%, like this I have given. So these are all your standards from chapter number 1 to chapter number 11. Out of this, see chapter number 3, okay, not 3, yeah, 3 we have already come across, like planning is very similar to what we have done. Chapter number 4 is also same, like we had this the inherent risk, control risk, ROMM. Chapter number 5 and 6 is inter only. If you open the study material, you see only the flow charts. Now what is really important is your chapter number 2 and chapter number 7. 7 also we had in the inter reporting, but they will ask you fantastic questions from the application point of view. Okay, and there are some new topics, new standards, which was not there part of the intermediate. Now 5% is allocated to digital audit. One sure short question. Then we have got from chapter number 13 to 14, 15, 16, like your public sector undertaking audit, your internal audit, your that called due diligence. What I can say, these are all more like different areas of practice or specializations, different types of audit. Then there is one more small 5% weightage is given for ESG, one totally new topic, which is going to become very important in upcoming years. And around 20% is given for professional ethics. Okay, so as and when, see, you read it before coming to the class, you read the study material, but as and when we complete the chapter, we will push this bucket here. That means you became aware about it. You have read it. You know now what is what. And once you are given the test, we will move it here. I want all these buckets to be here within next, say, 2 months. Sorry, again, we'll come back. Now we are into this standards on quality control. So CA Jagriti is working in a firm of chartered accountancy as a paid employee. Now they are going to handle different types of professional works, which includes your audit also. Their business is growing rapidly. If you see business growing rapidly, that means they must have adopted growth strategy. That means expansion, okay, diversification, acquisition, mergers. That means their business is growing now. In the hindsight, okay, she's thinking whether it is proper to accept new clients without checking the background, because in the process of growth, you may take the clients left and right. Now she's wondering, Are Baba, why these people are taking left and right clients? Are they good? Should we really engage with them? Will our name be spoiled? Okay, she has got some doubts in her mind. Now she also feels that the firm is accepting audit engaged in very technical and complex operations. That means really they don't understand what that operation is all about, like Bitcoin. You don't know. You have heard only Bitcoin, blockchain, but you are into audit of that. First question, if you are not aware about any complex operation, is it not that should you not accept the engagement? You can accept the engagement, but it has become your responsibility. If you don't have a past experience, you need to hire highly experienced people. But what she found that in her organization, commercial considerations are overriding. That means they are not there. She's wondering, are people really high qualified people are hired? Because high experienced people means high payment has to happen. Now increasing the volume of work also happened because of your growth strategy. So much work happened, and you, without hiring the competent people, that obviously you will end up with so many lapses, and so many lapses will kill your quality. See, everywhere, no, Baba. See, the more you focus, the better you will be. The moment diversification happens, problem comes. See, this is what happens now. So many people have been hired, but people are not hired, they are expanding. Now she is handling the audit of a listed entity, and to her surprise, she saw that the audit report issued is telling profit and the audited financial statement is showing loss. This is copy paste error. See, that much. See, as an auditor, you are supposed to go into the detail, because it is said that devil lies in the detail, not at the outset. So that's why you have to have that sharp thinking, comprehension, going to the depth, because otherwise you will not be able to figure out them. See, this is one of the small problem. And again, they say this all shows that there is a lack of quality control. Again, audit report showed cash flow statement, but in fact they didn't prepare the cash flow statement because it's a small company. See, such lapses shows that it is inappropriate. The report is not proper. So how people will trust? They will say that okay, this AI must have prepared this. Unnecessarily, despite you put so much effort, your name is lost. Now she had to make her mind to speak to the senior partner, so she decided to speak. She politely told also that firm is inviting trouble because of all these things. She underlined the need for proper effective control, and the question is very silent. This case is very silent. How her senior took it. Okay, whether he told yes, your advices are very correct, we have to do it, or it is none of your business. You please see what you are supposed to do here. Whether he told that way or he told where he accepted it, the question is very silent. The case is silent. Anyhow, we will start. She has got so many doubts. Let us see whether all these doubts will be addressed by the chapter number 1. Audit quality. Okay, initially they start here. High quality of audit is central to the auditing profession, and we already discussed. We give the example of that Domino's pizza because it creates the trust and all. Okay, so we can just skip students. These are all the theory. You can just, it's the general, like industry, everybody trust and all they have told. Now, SQC applicable to all the engagements and deals with the quality at the firm level. Now, what are those engagements? Okay, for this you have to go back to the intermediate. Now, any audit firm can handle which type of engagement. So, when you talk about audit engagements, say first of all, you can have an audit. So, SQC sits for all. In audit, you have got SA 220, which specifically talks about audit. Then you can have a review. So, there are SREs. This is SA. Then we have got SRE, which will start from chapter number 8. Then you have got non-assurance engagement or related services. We call it SRS. And then we have got other assurance engagements. Okay. SA, SRE, SRS, SAE. Standards on assurance engagement. Okay, so we have got separate SA 220, but all other places the standard quality control standard is sitting here only. So whatever type of audit engagements, whatever type of engagement you are going to perform, is you are centrally governed by one standard called SQC1. Yeah, this in the intermediate only you had this. Now SA 220 deals with the audit quality at the engagement level. See, SQC is applicable to the firm as a whole. Like for example, to give an analogy to you, when you talk about a home, now home will have different activities. Like for example, cooking, there should be a quality. Like say you may be doing some God's work, like some puja and all, there should be a quality. Students are learning, kids are learning, there should be a quality. Cleanliness, see, you have got a different, and there is a central SQC1 for the house as a whole, which demands that whatever you do, it should be good. You should not cheat. You need to follow ethical practices, all those things. Okay, so SA 220 deals with the engagement level. So besides, there is a code of ethics also issued by ICAI. I told you already, which we are going to learn in chapter number 19, because chapter 19 is all your code of ethics only. Besides provisions of the Companies Act also we are going to see in chapter number 7, which is CARO reporting. Now there also exists a mechanism for review of the quality control through peer review board, quality review and NFRA. So previously these were separate chapters, and in the new syllabus they have removed it, and only one para or two para you may have to study. I hope up to here you don't have any problem. In fact, we didn't start only. Okay, so we are going to start SQC1. Okay, before again I proceed with the SQC1, I need to tell you something about the standards, friends, how it is structured. See, when we talk about any standard, okay, whether it is a SQC, whether it is auditing, whether it is a review, whether it is a other assurance engagement, every standard starts with something called objective, and you have to remember, study the objective. What is objective? Purpose, goal, why it is existing. Like today morning we discussed, why you are sitting and listening to me. This is an objective, right? This is a purpose, right? Simply if you have some extra time or I have extra time, we are not sitting like this. We are sitting with the purpose. So first question is, when you talk about any standard, first you should know what is the objective of that standard. Second question comes, how do we achieve that objective? For this, no, you have something called procedures. Maximum 90% questions will be revolving around procedure. They will ask you, okay, tell me this scenario, tell me that scenario, and you are expected to write the procedures. Okay, in this scenario, I'm going to perform this procedure because this is my objective, and in this scenario, I'm going to perform this procedure because this is my objective. That's it. Now, any procedure will have the word called shall, because shall is mandatory. So procedure can be 1, 2, 3, 4, depending upon the standard. Objective can be 1, 2, 3. Now, why do we call it as a procedure? What do you mean by procedure? First, let us have some clarity about it. What is procedure? See, procedure means official way of doing something sequentially. That's why we call it operation procedures. Like doctors, first step, BP and diabetes is checked. Second step, anesthesia is given. Third step, okay, they will cut the stomach. You see, across any part of the world you go, people follow the same procedure. Doctors follow the same procedure because it's a recognized way, or recognized by the law, in which you have to perform that. Similarly, after, okay, we are entire world has adopted ISA, International Standards on Auditing. You go to any part of the country. Today, you see IFRS is implemented in one or the other form. You see ISA is also implemented. So whatever you are learning, students, here right now, whatever you are seeing in the screen, whatever you are reading in the study material, please understand, it is the same language, it is the same content. Students across the world are studying. You go to Japan, they are also studying same thing. You go to Chile, you go to Uruguay, you go to Uganda. Across the world, people are studying this language only, this contents only. That's why across the world, as in accounting profession, there is a trust. Because you go anywhere, the way accounting or audit profession is performed in the same way. Okay, so every procedure will have steps, like procedures, step 1, 2, 3. You cannot skip step 3, because if you have to perform step 4, step 3 has to be there. If it's not applicable, you have to document it is why it is not applicable. And then you have got something called explanatory material. Okay, so please remember there are 3 things. Okay, I can say any standard will start with something called the introduction. You will not get any question from the introduction. Then second thing is your objective. Third thing is your shall procedures, which is mandatory. And fourth thing, you have got explanatory material, where they will tell you about different scenarios and how auditor need to respond to that different scenario. That's why you will see the word called may. May means it is not mandatory for you to follow, but you can follow that. Now, who designed it? All the people across the world have given input to design this content, whatever you are going to read. Now, what is the first SQC? And you have to study this. Okay, please practice. You have to practice and you have to show me. What is SQC1? Quality control for firms that perform audit. I told you, 4 types of work. Review of historical financial information, other assurance engagements, and related service engagement. Now, students, in some of the examination question, I will show you. Just to write this, you are going to get 1 mark. See, if you don't write, you will not get 1 mark. And you will not come to know why the evaluator didn't give you mark. Because they are not going to tell in your answer sheets. Oh, you didn't write, that's why I am not giving. It only happens in school, college. Okay, they will tell, somebody is there to tell why you are not awarded marks. That's why you have to understand the rules now. Now, which question I should write, which I need not write? Who can tell me? Q&A will tell. Okay, we'll see the patterns in Q&A. We'll try to make some sense from the Q&A, where we have to code this or where we need not code this. Okay, at least what I guess in entire question paper, 2 marks so definitely you will get just by quoting the standard name. Okay, now SQC1 requires, okay, you have to study this. First point, you have to remember this, quality control for firms, because it is at the firm level. So when you talk about firm, 4 types of activities are there. Okay, smuggling, murder and all not included, because we are not going to practice that. So we don't have such standards for that. So we have got for audits, review of historical financial statement, other assurance and related services. Now, what does it requires? Okay, you can write here, it's called objective. So SQC1 requires the firm should establish a system of quality control. That means internal control. You can call it by the word internal control also. You can call it by the word discipline also. You can call it by the word policies and procedures also, because these are all interchangeable. Ultimately, you need to have one internal control. What is that internal control? What assurance? It should provide the firm with the reasonable assurance, because we have already learned in the intermediate level. None of the internal controls can give you absolute assurance. Only it can provide you a reasonable assurance. So what is that control which will help you to give a reasonable assurance that the firm, it's a personnel. That means not only the firm, it's people. Comply with the professional standards. Now, what is professional standards? Issued by, say, ICAI. Regulatory requirements. Who is regulator here? Say RBI. SEBI. They are regulators. Or legal requirements. Who is legal here? Companies Act. So when you are going to perform any act, you need to comply with the professional standards, regulatory requirement, legal requirement. Okay, I'll again take you back to the objective of Domino's Pizza. So if the Domino's Pizza, when they prepare a pizza, should they not follow the recipe given to them by their boss or their parent company? Should they not comply with the, say, food control related something, like whatever the laws are available, applicable? Should they not comply with the local authorities law, because they are the regulators there, like putting hoarding or whatever it is? Similarly, you need to have an internal control, because if you don't have the internal control, then how do you comply with these professional standards, regulatory and legal requirement? Second, you need to have that internal control to see that reports issued by the firm or its engagement partners are appropriate in the circumstance. That means when you are supposed to issue qualified report, you have to issue qualified only. You cannot issue disclaimer. And you see, no, when this cash flow statement they should not have given, but they are telling cash flow statement is true and fair. It's an inappropriate report. And I was trying very hard to figure out one audit report, students. Once I have seen, okay, somebody had issued it on a municipality. Disclaimer of opinion is also sitting there. Your qualified opinion is also sitting. An intermediate student will figure out that this is not a proper report. A practicing CA has given an audit report there, where in one report only disclaimer is also there, qualified opinion is also there. Right? How SS 705 says no, you cannot issue such type of reports. Then what confidence somebody can have? So we have got two objectives, firm and the report. Now, firm's quality control should consist of policies. Like what is that internal control or quality control? It should have policies to achieve these objectives, and quality shall apply to all the firms irrespective of their constitution. That means you can be a partnership firm, you can be an LLP, or you can be an individual. It really doesn't matter, because individuals are also called a firm here. SQC1 is applicable to an individual practicing CA also. So let us see now, students, at the same time, because as when we proceed further, let us also see how they will ask you in the examination. Okay, let us try to see some test your knowledge question, because when we are talking about the concept only, we will try to cover the Q&A. Okay, friends, so we will see the Q&A, which is connected with the theory what we have just learned. Now, see, this is the question which they have asked in your test your knowledge too. They said, Beta Private Limited has approached a firm of chartered accountants to assist them in preparation of the financial statement. The very first, any question you read, okay, like for example, your parent brings any packet, vegetable or whether it is whatever, you have to be aware where to keep this, which box it pertains to. So your first responsibility, first task is to figure out which chapter this particular question belongs to. So having a keywords, like that we have to practice. Now, issue a compilation report. So they are talking about assisting in the preparation of the financial statement. Okay, so this is a related service. So your mind will automatically go to chapter number, say 11 or something, and issue one compilation report. Now, first question, does CA firm have got any responsibility related to quality or? See, this is, but they are asking a firm has got quality responsibility. See, this is your keyword. In the examination, from this keyword, you understand that they are not asking from this chapter, from chapter number 11. Instead, they are asking firm quality responsibility. And what is the another name of a responsibility? Objective. So whenever they talk about responsibility, objective, they are the same. Because your objective or your goal is your responsibility, right? Power we need not talk. Power is within our control. Responsibility is what we are talking here in the entire subject. Now discuss with the reasons. Okay, first question, for a compilation report, is SQC applicable or quality is applicable? Okay, first question, are we supposed to write SQC1? See, you make a practice of writing always what is SQC1. SQC means quality control for the firm of audit, other engagement, and you write that entire story. But for this question, if this question comes like this only, you are not going to fetch any marks, because they never said with reference to. Remember, that is the keyword for you. Wherever you see the word called with reference to, that particular question can carry a weightage for quoting this SQC1. Okay. So now you understood that you have to write about SQC1. What SQC1 has to do, you have to comply with the professional standards and regulatory report, and report should be appropriate. So this is nothing but the objective they spoke, the responsibility. Now, it applies to all the firm irrespective of the constitution. Just now we have seen whether it's firm, LLP, okay, that's what they said, whether it's a sole proprietor, partnership, doesn't matter, it is applicable. Now, it is applicable for all types of services. See, in the study material, this is missing. And this is there in your inter-study material. So, the moment you see such type of things, you have to mark this question as priority one. The moment you see something is coming in the test your knowledge, but the related contents are not there in the study material, and don't expect the same question in the examination. They can create a case study for it. But ultimately, the crux or the issue here is, do you have any responsibility to ensure quality when you are issuing compilation report, or is quality applicable only for audit? No, quality is applicable for all types of work. Which is work? Audit, review, assurance, and agreed upon procedures. So, on purpose of, okay, why? Because they asked, discuss with the reasons. So you have to tell why it is important, and you need to tell, okay, purpose is to ensure high quality standards and all other areas. So purpose of the issue of the standards is to establish high quality standards and guidance. And you can say it is going to create the trust also. So they will fall under the category of related service. So compilation agreements are going to fall under this category. Compilation means, okay, anyhow, we are going to discuss in detail. Here what you are going to do, you are just going to do the work told by the, say, client. You are not going to issue any separate opinion on that. That means there you may do one, say, fixed asset related work. All the fixed assets you trace and you give the number. See, that will fall under agreed upon procedure. Before only you agree what type of work has to be done. Like you may ask external confirmation from the debtor. So work is more like an audit, but it is not any assurance engagement. You are going to just do the task, and whatever observations you have come up with, you will hand over the work. I hope it's clear. And you saw here how they can ask you a question only on this. And see, there will be something called step marks. We will discuss that. See, generally, to write this, they will allot you 1 mark. To write this, they will allot you 3 marks. And to write the purpose and to write this, they will allot you 1 mark. And if you miss any one of these aspects, then you are going to lose that mark. So once you understand how this operates, then you will learn. See, for me, no, you look it like this. Since you are in the business, who is your customer? ICA is your customer. You are the business of chartered accountancy, right now. Who is your customer? ICA is the customer. What ICA want? First understand, know what ICA want. They want a fantastic, mouth-watering answer. Nothing else. Tell me, do they want your name? Do they want your family background? Are they concerned what you are doing? Or which caste, which religion, which gender? Nothing. Okay. You can be anybody in this world. They are asking, just demonstrate professionalism. That's it. Let that answer show your thinking model, what you're thinking. That answer should demonstrate it. Okay, see, this is what I'm looking for. And what are they expecting perfection? No, that's why clearing C is very easy, because their level of perfection is only 50%. That means even though you are 50% impure also, ICA says okay. See, such a considerate. And are they testing you from everywhere? Like once upon a time, if you wanted to become king or queen, 64 Vidya, you need to learn. And they will be tested from all the angles. Here, how they are selecting on sampling. See, 100 mark paper, finish. Students, so it's very easy actually. So much sampling comes into picture. Okay, 50% only perfection they're expecting. And in that 50%, because this is what we can control. Really, we can control 50%. 50% is something we cannot control. But what we can control, we will do best. We'll give fantastic answers. We will learn the skill of answering. Effort is required. That you only promise today, that you are going to bring that. Okay, whatever I am going to tell, you are going to follow. So we have seen how they can ask you the question on this thing, objective. So now, how to achieve the objective? So we know what is the objective now. I hope you are also writing. Objective is to, 1, comply with the standards and requirements law, and 2nd, issue appropriate report. But how you are going to do it? Your idea is very noble. Fantastic. It looks very good actually. Oh, you comply with the standard, you listen to them, you do this, like I say, no. But how do you achieve it? Like I'm telling, okay, write one fantastic answer. Sounds very good. Please write, now only we will write that fantastic answer. But how do you achieve it? Now, they have given you some elements, requirements, which is mandatory. And they are the sub-elements here. We have to start with something called leadership responsibility. Okay, we'll see that. Second is ethical requirement. Now, elements of systems of quality control. Okay, you can also call it as a requirements of a quality control. That means if you have to establish the quality control system, what is that step by step you need to do? If you have to improvise your answers, what is that step by step you need to do? So the firm's quality control should include policies and procedure, should address first is the leadership responsibilities within the firm. Somebody has to own it. Who? Your business you have to own. My business I have to own. I cannot interfere in your business. You cannot run my business. So let us take that responsibility. Who are called leaders? See, leaders are the one who have got power. But with the power comes the responsibility also, no? And they assume they don't blame someone, they take that blame on themselves. Okay. Now, ethical requirement. Now, what is ethics? Doing right. Now, what is that should be done? Ethical requirement. We'll see. That is required. You need to establish quality control system for leadership responsibility. Ethical requirement. Acceptance and continuance of client relationship and specific engagements. See, 4 elements are there. One, you have to accept relationship and engagement, or you may decide to continue a relationship and engagement. Not all the considerations we have to have in mind. Then you need to have a very good, strong human resource, engagement performance. So there are 6 elements of quality control. If any one fail, your quality control will fail. Oh, fine. Now, the quality control policies should be documented and communicated to the firm's personnel. Otherwise, will they get dream now? First of all, what is your policies and procedure? What you want? You have to communicate. You see, students, in our house also, this happens. Like we say, sanskar. Starts from the top. Otherwise, yata raja tata praja. Okay, and they guide us. What is correct? What should be done? What should not be done? And when they have a relationship with someone else, like they make a choice, no, making who should be my friend, who should not be my friend, whom should I continue with, whose relationship we should continue, we should not continue. See, parents guide, no, don't talk to them, don't be with them, be friends with them. Because Shakespeare has told, tell me about friends, I will tell you. And HR, okay, your team you appoint, engagement performance and monitoring. Now, first thing is all this thing has to be documented. It should be in written form and you have to communicate. Why? By communicating, you can obtain appropriate feedback from the people. Because if you don't communicate, you will not come to know. So there is no communication. There's a communication gap. Therefore, the firm encourages its personnel to communicate their views and concerns of quality. You see the first case study. She was communicating back. The question is very silent. How her communication was accepted? Because feedback nobody wants. Okay, people want good feedback only. But if somebody is pointed, okay, this is the problem, is the firm ready to accept it and they are ready to correct? Or they say, it's none of your business, you do whatever you do what is your business. Got my point, students? So the firm encourages personnel to communicate. Let us see one of the question, how they can ask you questions on this concept. Okay, let us go to this question number 2. Now, MNP and Co. is the firm of auditors appointed by a bank to conduct the stock audit of a borrower. Now, the moment you read this sentence, is it coming from chapter number 14, bank audit? Or is it coming from ethics? We don't know. Your mind is trying to figure out now. It deputes one of the paid chartered accountant employees, Sudhanshu, to conduct the stock audit. Who? The MNP, the firm appointed. The firm appointed the employee chartered accountant. He leverages its opportunity to prevail upon the client to get accounts audited by their firm. So what this guy did, he went to that client and he told him, look Baba, if you are going to give your audit to us, we will give you very good stock audit report, so that bank will give you loan. He also assures a client clean stock audit report without any adverse comment as a quid pro quo. That means You give me your audit, we will give you this. See, he is a paid employee. Now he is very happy because he got a client and he is waiting Shabasgiri from the firm now, MNP and Co. Now what MNP Co should do? Should they praise him or should they fire him? Fire him in the sense they say this is not correct. Now, is approach of Sudhanshu proper? See, just to tell yes or no, you will get 1 mark. Please remember. Just to tell this, I can show you. I analyze the students' answer sheets. Just to tell, the entire story is wrong. Just internal auditor is responsible. Finish. 1 mark you will get. So always understand how many questions they ask, because they are called step marks. How does it reflect the quality control of the firm? See, from this, no, you understand they are asking from SQC. Quality control of the firm, the keyword. Yes, Sudhanshu's approach is not proper because you have violated the ethical code of ethics, because it reflects poor quality control system, because firm is not documented and communicated. That firm has not told only that this type of practices you should not do. How can you expect an employee to know? He is thinking from his benefit. He is thinking he will get promotion, his salary will be hiked and all. No, first thing is you need to have a quality control system, communicate to the employee. So if it is, they are not properly sensitized, what can go wrong? What can be issue with this type of thing? Tomorrow it is going to attract the professional actions. So if NAFRA comes to know that this type of things have happened, they will take strict actions. So this is what they need to bring to the notice of the employees. I hope it is done. I hope you know now what type of question they can ask, what you need to write. So 6 pointers like requirements were leadership requirement, ethical requirement, acceptance of the client relationship, HR, engagement, and okay. Now let us go through one by one concept. So I told you, students, how concepts will explode. See, first of all, you have got SQC1 and SA 220. SQC1 has got 2 primary concepts. One, what is its objective and how it will be achieved. When you talk about how it is achieved, it has got 6 primary sub requirements. One, it has got a leadership requirement, then it has got your ethical requirements, then it has got your client acceptance requirement, then it has got your HR, engagement performance, and monitoring. See, you need to know, this is memory. You have to draft. And now leadership requirement will have 2, organizational, operational. We'll see that. I hope up to here you are clear. Not clear, you're supposed to ask me. Yes. Now, what is the leadership requirement for a quality within the firm? Okay, I would like to narrate one story, students. Very nice story. This is about your Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. You must be aware about this story. One very old lady goes to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and says that, look, my grandson is eating jaggery. However, I tell, he is not listening only. Can you please tell him not to eat jaggery too much? Then Ramakrishna Paramahamsa looks at that lady and say, you please come after 1 month. Okay. Now she goes. After 1 month again she comes with the grandson. Now this time Ramakrishna Paramahamsa looks at the boy and says, hey, eating too much jaggery is not good, no, for your health. Don't eat her from now onwards. And the boy listens. And boy stops eating. So the lady gets very surprised. She says, look, sir, when I came last time, 1 month back, you could have told me this. Why you told me to come after 1 month? And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, see, when you came first time and told me that your son is doing this, your grandson is doing this and all. In fact, I also had a habit of eating jaggery. So if I have to tell him, should I not stop myself? Should I not apply my principle, that principle in my life? So see, this is called leadership. This is leadership. And then people listen because they assume that responsibility. They take the pain. They show them what is required. This is called a tone. And when that tone comes, no, people listen. And you can make out when you're speaking to the people only, are they casual or are they serious? Okay. So now, what is that leadership responsibility? See, there are 2 elements here. Okay. If you read the study material, they have not given you the pointers. They have given in the form of a para. But for our understanding sake, we will break this into 2 parts. The first part, leadership responsibility, is nothing but the tone at the top. Tone means their way of communication. It is also organizational. That means when you look at that organization, when you look at that family, you understand the values, what they give importance to, whatever it is. Now, SQC1 requires firm to establish the policies and procedure to promote internal culture on the recognition that the quality is essential in performing. That means you have to develop one quality control procedure, which shows that you have to develop it as a culture, as a habit, as your custom, that whatever you do, you should do it well. You see, we teach our kids, no, when they're eating, we tell them, don't like put it on the floor there, clean it. Okay, when they are keeping some back, you keep it in this particular place. Whatever you do, we see the quality is very essential. We try to tell them, let it be the part of the culture. So tomorrow from this organization, you move to another organization, you take that culture there also. So what they say that, look, this should come from the top. If the top is not performing, then how can you expect it at the employee level? I can tell you one more story, very fantastic story. One day there was one king, along with his family members, he go for one, what is that called, hunting. They hunt the animals and all. Now the time comes for cooking, and suddenly they realize that they don't have salt. So now without salt, how to cook now? So one of the member, like some soldiers were about to go to one village to buy the salt. And when they were about to go, the king calls him and says, look, you are going to get the salt, right? Please pay money. Don't bring it free. Now the ministers gets very surprised to hear this. They say that, Arey sir, they are treating you like God. If they come to know that the Raja wants salt, Arey, they will be very happy to give you. Why you are asking to pay? It's just a salt. Then he makes one very famous statement. This is Sanskrit story. It's a very lengthy thing. Yata toyam tata bijam. Okay, yata whatever. At the end he says yata rajam tata prajam. See, if a Raja, the tone at the top, you please observe students everywhere. That everything starts from the top. Huh? If the Raja is casual, Raja will be casual. He says, look, if I say bring it free of cost because Raja wants, tomorrow my soldiers will do that. Tomorrow my ordinary people will do that. They will start threatening because I am at the higher level. Okay, give me. So first thing is you have to bring internal controls to demonstrate that as a culture, quality is essential. Who should own? The chief executive officer or the firm's managing partner should own the ultimate responsibility. The best example I'll give you, PNB fraud. Who is inside the jail till now? Nirav Modi ran away and a bank manager has been arrested. Do you think, friends, without the support from the top, will this type of fraud can happen? Did anybody resign? See, this is called ultimate responsibility. Somebody has to own that ultimate responsibility. They say, look, being me, how this happened, I should take this responsibility. I will resign and go. So the example set by the firm's leadership encourage an inner culture that recognizes the quality. When you perform that, when you feel sorry for something going wrong, even though you are not directly connected, when you take that responsibility, then everybody will observe it. And further, persons assigned with the operational responsibilities. Now you see, leader cannot do everything. No, so leader has to delegate it now. So when you are delegating to someone, you need to have a quality control system to see that the person whom it has been delegated has got sufficient, appropriate expertise, ability, and authority. See, you simply cannot give to somebody who is just experienced without any authority. You cannot give simply authority to someone without having sufficient experience. So when you are handing over to something to someone, like I will give one cash to my kid who is studying in 3rd standard. But I can give her authority, but what experience or ability she has got? She will spend like currency, like money like anything. So someone should have that appropriate ability. They should judge. They should have a good judgment. You should give them appropriate authority also. So when you find these elements in the organization, you understand the tone at the top or organizational culture is fantastic. Then second, okay, fine. The elder, The grandfather is very serious about the sanskar in the house. But how do you ensure it, Baba? How do you practically bring in? See, this is theory, right? This is a theory. Okay, you should have an internal culture, ultimate responsibility has to be taken, fine. But how do you practically bring it? So, what are the considerations you have in upholding the quality? Remember this keyword, consideration for upholding the quality. See, what is the meaning of the word consideration? Consideration means careful thought. See, when you are writing an examination, don't you consider which question to choose, which question to write, what to write? That's called a careful thought. Somebody has to carefully think how I can bring that quality. Okay, I can call it as an operational. So whichever words I am putting, no sentences I am putting in a purple color. This is not part of your study material. Now, it has been laid down clearly that the firm's business strategy is subject to overriding requirement for the firm to achieve quality. Okay, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by business strategy? See, when in the strategic management chapter, we have learned there are three types of business strategies. One, stability strategy, expansion strategy, and your liquidation strategy. Now, what happens, students, in life? I read one fantastic thing in one of the book. In life, success breeds ambition. Ah, beautiful. So true. Success breeds ambition. The moment somebody becomes successful, no, then somebody will jump into expansion mode. Because the mind runs, okay, they say, I want this in next 4 years, I should be 10 times more, my business should be so much. Now, fine, you adopt a strategy. There is nobody to challenge you. We cannot say you cannot be ambitious. You have to be ambitious. Everybody has to be ambitious in your life. Why? Who are we to tell you don't be ambitious? Be ambitious. But in the process of being ambitious, expanding your business, choosing a strategy to expand, don't compromise the quality. That means your always expansion strategy is subject to achieving of the quality. The moment you realize that I am not able to focus, I cannot give the quality, don't adopt expansion strategy. Go for stability or liquidation strategies. This is what they are trying to tell here. Don't expand. Don't put so many branches. Okay, do you have a proper qualified chartered accountant in each branch? Then only expand. No, simply don't take some part-time people and all. Don't get into such type of practices. Essentially, it says that audit quality is very paramount in all engagements and it is non-negotiable. So what you should ensure? First thing, commercial considerations do not override the quality. See, students, what happens when you are into expansion strategy? Anyhow, you want a client. You just want to the client. So what you may do, you may quote a very low fees. And what happens with the low fees? Low quality. Quality of the work will go for a toss. Obviously, because you cannot afford. Economics comes into picture here. You have studied already. Economics says it is impossible you can survive with the low price or whatever without margins. And the moment you put low price, low quality, trust is gone. This is what we have seen in the strategic management. So many businesses have failed because they lost their quality. That original touch was not there. Original taste was not there. You also know that. They say that, look, your commercial consideration should not override the quality, and firms' policies and procedure related to the personnel, HR, performance evaluation, compensation, promotion, etc. should be demonstrate the commitment to the quality. Please remember, student, somebody rightly said, if you offer peanut, monkey will come. See, if you want a high profile work, okay, you need to hire qualified people. You need to have experienced people, and experienced people, qualified people don't work for peanuts. They demand money. So is your audit firm has got such high profile people to work, so they are committed to quality? Because if you're not paying high money, then it's not going to happen. If the performance evaluation is not going to happen, compensation is not commensurate, if they are not promoted, then they are not going to perform. So these are all from the practical point of view. See, previously we are talking about the tone. Considerations is, yes, whenever you expand, keep quality in mind. Don't compromise with the quality. Whenever you accept engagement, commercial consideration should not override the quality. Third, your employees who are going to finally deliver the quality should be good, should be adequately compensated, promoted. And fourth, sufficient resources has to be devoted to develop more and more qualities and quality control policies, and because again free of cost the internal controls will not come. You have to invest in the systems, you have to invest in the people, procedures. So this is what it's. So this particular para, this has already come for the examination. See, my personal observation from foundation to final is this question is highly probable that it can come in the exam because it has given in the form of a para. It's very say it's not clearly they have given in the form of a pointer. So its chances to appear in the examination is 90%. But the moment it comes for the examination, I will consider its chances are only 10%. Again, it will repeat. And again, it's going to come for your examination. It will not come with the same question. Huh? So what I can do, we can always try to give some priorities. Okay, so we can reduce the priority for this type of question because this has already come. We can write and practice something else. Okay, now let us see the test your understanding question number 1. What they are going to tell here. ABC Associates, Chartered Accountants has got a policy to accept the clients wherein the risk evaluation, okay, ABC are there practicing CA has got a policy to accept the clients wherein the risk evaluation is conducted with respect to the company and the promoter. Okay, so whenever they accept new clients, they are going to perform risk evaluation. Very good. This is what you should be doing. Now XYZ Limited approaches ABC when new client. Now promoter of this new company is a close associate and a family member of A, managing partner of ABC and associate. Now ABC Associates has got multiple partners. One of the partners relative is the client. Now can this firm accept it? Why? There's a problem now. Firm has to consider something called a familiarity threat now. Because this person can do some unwanted things and he may influence this close relative to sign the financials and the name of the firm is lost here. Okay, one of the points. See, whenever you read this, you have to identify the issues here and see it has got a cash issue. Tomorrow business will be dull. You have to face the professional misconduct or whatever professional negligence cases. Now, XYZ Limited is in the news in the previous year for certain enquiries from the regulatory authorities in related to certain matters. Okay, maybe fraud or something. Like today we are seeing Rajesh Exports. SEBI is claiming 15 lakh crore rupees no in revenue only. They are shown as a revenue. Now this becomes one dangerous client now. If anybody is going to get associated with them, no, their name will simply spoil. You see that auditors avastha. Their name will be dragged now that this person is an auditor of Rajesh Export. What audit they have done? These questions will come. Now, existing auditor of XYZ Limited has resigned and created a casual vacancy. Now, one more problem now. Why this XYZ auditor resigned? Who want to resign? Because every client is a cash earning cow. Why you want to get rid of it? There must be some problem. And XYZ Limited is ready to offer 25% more than the existing fees. Are they giving us bribe now? With the high fees, they are making us happy and see to it that we will not speak anything. And has approached ABC Associated for the appointment as an auditor. Now, the commercial consideration, on one side, no, commercially we are getting tempted, but on the other side, this is a risky client. Now, tomorrow we may have to compromise with our opinion also here. So, A has got a very strong recommendation from two fronts. One thing is the relative, promoter is the relative. Second thing, they are offering 25% more income, more than the existing fees. Now A is recommending, tomorrow this partner will leave and go. Firm is gone for a toss day. Now, what is your understanding of functioning of tone at the top? See, keyword. Anyhow, you can remove this priority. Before this came for your examination, I had given initially test your knowledge. I told no, I will highlight some questions as a priority question. Now, since it's already come for the exam, it is no more priority, but you have to study. Not that you should not study. So what is your understanding of the tone at the top? What are the considerations one you should exercise the quality? See, considerations to uphold the quality. So you have to say SQC1. Should you quote SQC1? Not required because they didn't tell as per the applicable standard and all. They didn't tell. You need to establish the quality control. So business strategy should not override the overall quality. Commercial consideration should not override. Business strategy part they have written. Persons should demonstrate commitment to quality. Personal means you can write alternatively, you can write a sentence, their appointment, their compensation, their promotion should show that they are committed to quality. Firm devotes sufficient resources for development and documentation. And if you see, student, this particular point number 5, which they have given in your test, your understanding, see, one of the element is acceptance of a client, new client. Okay, so they are expressed it is a new client. So since they are new client, this point, see, point number 1 is what? Your leadership. Leadership has got these 3 points or 4 points. Point number 2 is your ethical requirement. This point is coming from ethical requirement. Except before accepting the engagement, what all the information you need to gather? Integrity of the client. Okay, next thing is that thing only. See, we are going to require, we have to talk here, ethical requirements here. See, communicating, identifying. Sorry, not thing. This one, acceptance and client relationship, not this thing. See, integrity of a client. And did you see, students? They expect you to. See, this is one FA2, what is it called? Level 2 question. Where one of the points. So, how the marking scheme will happen? 1 mark will be dedicated for this because new client has come. You have to consider the integrity because you see there, because that some regulatory inquiry is going on. So they are questioning the integrity of the promoters now. Okay, so they may expect you to write 1 point from here, maybe 2 points from here. This is how it happened. And they asked you one of the question, what is the tone? It says it is a poor functioning of the tone at the top. So this is how you are going to answer it. Okay, this is in the given situation, you can write here, commercial consideration seems to be overriding. So, see, in the CA foundation level only, alternative answers are there, students. You can please go and check. In that means, in the suggested answer, they say, one, I'm so surprised. That means on one side, they say that he is responsible, and another side, they say that he is not responsible. So, any alternative answers you can write, you can frame your own answers. Okay, that is, don't worry, it is not that you have to copy paste what is there in the Q&A. So you have to generalize. You have to learn that skill of writing an answer. That is very important. So any question they ask, you use your existing concept like ingredients and you cook and give them. Yes. Let us see one more January questions. Let us see how this test your knowledge question has come in your exam. XYZ is a mid-sized audit firm. It has recently expanded its operations. See, business strategy got expanded. Several large clients were taken. Growing workload, they delegated operational responsibility to the 2 senior partners. Operational responsibility for the quality control. However, certain concerns were raised. One of the partners, though commercially successful in bringing new clients, has limited experience in quality oversight. Then, you are good in bringing clients. Then why you have been given? See, we said no. Whenever delegation happens, it should happen to the people with the right experience plus authority, ability, experience and authority. What they have given, they have handed over, the managing partner or the CEO has handed over the operational responsibility to one of the partner who is not good in quality. He doesn't know about quality. He is good only in talking, going, getting the clients. That means they have failed. Leadership responsibility has failed. Firm's new incentive system heavily rewards partner staff based on the revenue generation. And little emphasis is given for the professional standards. This is also not done, right? You bring more clients, we'll pay you, give incentive and all. You should give incentive for the quality of the audit also. And due to rapid expansion, the firm has allocated most of its resources for marketing and client development only and nothing for quality control. The efforts and concerns reflect which element of quality control? See, you see the study material question. What is your understanding of the tone at the top? Which element of the quality control? So, when you talk about the element, there are 6 elements of the quality control. And here you need to write, it is the leadership element. In that leadership element, you can say tone at the top. As per SQC1, so you need not quote about since they only told as per SQC1, you need not write about this sentence again. As per SQC1, quality control for firms that performs audit review, you write. As a general practice, you write. But this is not going to fetch you any mark. If you have to, if they have told as per relevant standard, then probably this may fetch it, because like this you say 4 or 5 questions as per relevant, everywhere they will not give you. 1 or 2 marks they can allot. requires the firms to establish the quality control. They should have the firms require the chief executive officer. Okay, this is the requirement number one. It has laid down the clearly firm strategy to overriding, especially employees audit quality is paramount. In the given case, you identify issue number one is this, issue number two, three. Okay, so such lacks the proper establishment of the quality control. So following consideration should be upheld. Okay, firm should assign the management responsibility, commercial consideration not override. See, this is the standard answer. You have to write it. See, this should come in fact first. Then you should say in the given case what happened. Yes, so this is the thing happened. So this should not have been happened. I hope it's fine, students. Okay, so they have written here situation reflects the lack of establishment of quality control framework at the top. Okay, you can write this, you can say about the leadership, because all these things, assignment and all, will come under the leadership responsibility. Or you can alternatively say commitment at the top. Don't worry, the one who evaluators are the one who are professionals only. Okay, there are alternative answers are possible. Yes, I hope you are very clear with the first requirement. Okay,